He's the most famous vampire in history, the undisputed Prince of Darkness. Dracula has terrified and fascinated us for over a century. But what if I told you that behind the fangs, the cape, and the Gothic castle, there's a real man whose story is even more shocking than the legend? We've seen over 200 movies about this character, yet the true story of the man who inspired him remains largely hidden. Today, we're going to peel back the layers of myth and uncover the flesh and blood historical figure behind Dracula. Prepare yourself, because the reality is far more complex and brutal than any fiction. The story of Dracula as we know him begins not in medieval Transylvania, but in 19th century Dublin with a man named Bram Stoker. He wasn't a historian or a folklorist. He was the business manager of the Lyceum Theatre in London. His life in the theater, surrounded by drama, lighting, and charismatic performers, undoubtedly shaped his most famous creation. Stoker spent 7 years meticulously researching his novel. He never actually set foot in Romania, but he devoured every book he could find. One text in particular was crucial, an account of the principalities of Wallachia and Moldavia, which mentioned a 15th century prince, a voivode known for his extreme cruelty, a voivode named Dracula. Now, let's travel back in time to the 15th century. This is the world of Vlad III, Prince of Wallachia. His famous name, Dracula, literally means son of the dragon. His father, Vlad II, was a member of the Order of the Dragon, a chivalric order dedicated to defending Christendom from the expanding Ottoman Empire. This wasn't just a title, it was a mission. Wallachia was a dangerous frontier, a buffer state caught between the great powers of Hungary and the mighty Ottoman Empire. Vlad's childhood was anything but noble. He and his younger brother were sent as political hostages to the Ottoman court. There, he learned their language, their military tactics, and their methods of rule. This harsh education would forge the man who would later reign over Wallachia during 3 tumultuous periods, always fighting to maintain its independence against impossible odds. This is where history gets bloody, and the legend of Vlad the Impaler is born. To consolidate his power and defend his small principality, Vlad used methods of extreme public justice designed to inspire absolute terror in his enemies and obedience in his subjects. His preferred method was impalement. There are countless stories, some historical, some exaggerated propaganda. One famous account tells of Ottoman ambassadors who refused to remove their turbans in his presence. Vlad, as a lesson in respecting local customs, had their turbans nailed to their heads. His most legendary feat occurred in 1462 during the famous night attack. Facing a massive Ottoman army led by Sultan Mehmed II himself, the conqueror of Constantinople, Vlad launched a daring nighttime raid on the Sultan's camp, aiming to assassinate him. While the assassination failed, it caused chaos and immense fear. But what truly stopped the Ottoman advance in its tracks was what they discovered next: a gruesome forest of 20,000 impaled Ottoman prisoners and Bulgarian collaborators stretching for miles. The sight was so horrifying that even the battle-hardened Mehmed, sickened, ordered a retreat. So was Vlad a national hero defending his homeland, or a bloodthirsty tyrant? The truth is complex. In Romania, he is often revered as a stern but just ruler, a hero who fought for independence. To his enemies, he was the devil incarnate. His methods, while brutal, were not entirely unique in a brutal age. The question remains, and it's one historians still debate. What do you think? Was Vlad a hero or a monster? So how did this medieval warrior prince become a supernatural creature of the night? This is where Bram Stoker's genius comes in. Stoker took the name Dracula and the historical reputation for cruelty, and masterfully blended them with various European vampire folklore, the undead, the thirst for blood, the weakness to sunlight. Very little of the historical Vlad actually made it into the novel. The real Vlad wasn't a count. He wasn't from Transylvania proper, and he certainly wasn't a vampire. His castle wasn't Bran Castle, which is now a major tourist attraction, but the ruined fortress of Ponari. Stoker created a new archetype, which cinema then took and transformed again and again, from the monstrous creature of Nosferatu to the suave, aristocratic lover we often see today. In the end, we are left with a fascinating double legacy. In Romania, Vlad III remains a key figure in national history, a symbol of resistance. To the rest of the world, his name, Dracula, is synonymous with the ultimate vampire, an icon of horror and Gothic romance. The real sights of his life, like the ruins of Ponari Citadel, stand in contrast to the tourist-packed Bran Castle, which has little to do with him, but perfectly fits our image of Dracula's home. It's a powerful reminder of the thin, blurry line that often separates history from legend, and how a real man's story can be transformed into a global, immortal myth. Thanks so much for joining us on this journey into the past. If you found this story as fascinating as we did, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more dives into the hidden corners of history. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. See you next time.